So tonight, I have been excited about this. I have been talking about this. I have been sending folk over there. My guest tonight is the proprietor, the owner, the operator, the technician, the angel in service over the harmonic egg here on the East Coast in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And I was connected with him through the creator of the harmonic egg, who I was connected to her through my friend in London. She told me about Gail. Gail told me about Charles. But that's what happens when you're in the process of transformation. One thing leads to another. And he is a master. If you've been to see him, you know what I'm talking about. He is a master of healing energy. We want to talk about that tonight. Healing energy, healing medicine and the harmonic egg as a transformational tool. He uses color. Debbie talked to us about color last week. Sound and light. That's what the egg uses. Color, sound, and light to increase, enhance, neutralize, balance your energy and your vibrational frequency. Let me tell you something. I don't miss a week, okay? I have my butt in the egg. The egg has saved me on many a day. And sometimes I'm so clear, I say, I'm stay out that damn egg. I ain't going over there no more. But I'm on a transformational journey. So my guest tonight, brother, I'm gonna call him Reverend Doctor, because that's what he does. He ministers to you and he ministers to your soul. Reverend Doctor Charles Monroe. So I know he's there. He's gonna come on and be with us. And if you've got questions about the egg, we're gonna talk for a little bit about the process. There you are. Hello, my darling.
Hi, I love that intro.
I'm gonna see you tonight. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Pull your top down a little bit. We got a lot at the top of your head. There you go. I want them to see that lovely
That's
face.
better?
Yeah. How you doing?
Okay. Good to be
Good.
here.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the breath work in the beginning. I was fired up.
Okay. I know. Listen, this is
Yeah.
Transformational Tuesday. We don't play around. We come in here to do work
Yes.
that's going to transform our minds and our lives. And I am a proponent of the egg. I want my New York
Yes.
people, I want you all to get together and take a road trip. I want my Philly people, my Jersey people. He'll give you the hours you need. Come on down on a Saturday or get in the egg. If you do it once, you're going to be hooked. Let's talk about the egg. Let's talk about energy medicine, Charles, because
Yes.
that's where we're headed. That's where we're going. When we talk about energy medicine, share with the IVTV family, what is it that we're talking about? Energy medicine.
It's energy medicine. Some people call it frequency medicine. But it's dealing with the body's biofield. And the chakras are a part of that. So the chakras emanate out, that creates what we see as the biofield. The thing about the biofield is everything about you is in your biofield. Um, I
What
have a
does that
tool,
mean? Everything about us is in our
your
biofield.
history. It's almost like rings on the tree.
Hmm.
If you ever seen anybody do any advanced tuning fork work, they'll stand very far away from you with the tuning fork. If they hear an anomaly in the tuning fork, they know it's something recent. If they get close to you and they hear it, they know it's something in your past. Almost like rings on a tree. If you cut a cross section of a tree, you look at that middle ring. If that tree was in a hurricane when it was young, you would see it. You would see the damage in the ring.
You know, I
Our,
just I just
mhm,
finished my tuning fork certification yesterday. So
mhm.
you're talking
Okay.
my language. I just finished
Yes.
it today. Yes. Yay
Yes.
me. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So things are stored in your field, and I see that when clients come in, their energy is different almost every time they come in there. Someone cuts you off in traffic, it's going to show up in your field. I'll see it when I scan you with the bio well. That's the other technology that I use before I put you in the egg. I get to see what your energetic signature looks like, And I could see,
Energetic signature.
yes,
Energetic signature. Write that down. Put that in your Hogwarts notebook, people. What is my Put that in your notebook. What is my energetic signature? Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes.
yes, yes. So I see that, and then we tailor your session based on what I see and what we discuss. There's a lot of Chinese medicine in interpreting your field, your meridians with the bio. Well, I can see all that information. I can see all of your chakras. I can see your energy level. I can see your energy reserve, how your body's distributing that energy throughout your system, and that can give me an idea of if you're in fight or flight, if you just have weak energy, if you're stressed out. Uh, there are things I can see, like if you have a lot of energy going to the lung, in some instances, that's where you hold grief. And I'll ask a question. I'll say, "Are you grieving a male?" If I see a lot of energy going to the lung on the right side, I'll ask, "Are you grieving a male?" And I get yes a lot of times. And it could be grieving, or it could be you just have to sever a relationship with a male.
Mm.
Yeah, and it will
Why
show up the
is
same in the body.
yeah?
Yeah.
Why is this? First of all, why has it been hidden from us for so long? Because now, now we can say out loud vibration, frequency, energy. We can say that out loud. Why
Mhm.
has this been hidden or on the down low or in the basement or wherever it's been for so long?
I think it's been a part of Eastern medicine for thousands of years, especially in Chinese medicine. We're just getting to a point in technology where we can visualize these things.
Mhm.
We can actually see it on a screen.
Yeah.
And that's what has impact on people. If you have issues with your liver, I can see it. Then I'm asking you, do you have anger problems? Or you're a heavy drinker? If you're not a drinker, you're not on a lot of medications, I'll ask, do you have anger issues? And when people see that on the screen, it's like they know what it is. They know what it is and they know who they're mad at.
Okay.
It's something about visualizing it. And then that keys me in on what to do in the harmonic egg.
Okay, let's.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get in the egg yet. What
Okay.
about physical stuff? When
Mhm.
he has a little machine for those who haven't been, and you stick your fingers in the machine, and it reads your fingertips. They can never read me because I'm gonna cut my nails off, so I can't get my fingers in there deep enough. But and then it comes up your eyes, your liver. What if you have a physical ailment? Is the egg helpful for that also?
Oh yes, yes. So what the biowell is reading is your body sending healing energy to different places in the body.
Okay.
So I would see your body sending healing energy to your liver. And that's going to prompt some questions. It's not a diagnostic tool. I can't tell you you have a fatty liver, but I can tell you your body knows that something is going on with your liver, and it's sending a lot of healing energy there. And then, based on the rest of the conversation, we would know it may be a fatty liver. You may have already been diagnosed with that, or it could be an anger issue or a resentment issue.
Is the egg or is this technology, because it's sound, light, and color? I want us to talk a bit about each one. But
Mm-hmm.
is the energy of the egg, what's the question I want to ask? I don't know. It just left my brain.
That's okay. Well,
I'm
the
cooking with
whole
an egg.
the what's happening with the egg? It's sound, it's light, and it's also the shape. It's the sacred geometrical
Yes.
shape.
Yes,
That's
listen, the fact that a woman created it, only
yes,
a woman would say, let me create an egg and put people in an egg. But
yes.
anyway, sound. Let's talk about sound and healing sound. I can talk about it a little bit since I'm now
Hmm.
certified as
Okay,
a sound therapist. But anyway,
okay,
go ahead.
okay. So with the egg, it's three levels of entrainment that's happening in there: the sound, the light, the sacred geometry. What
Okay,
entrainment is?
wait a minute, wait a
Mhm.
minute. What is entrainment? I want you to, our people, I want us to
Yes.
understand all of this. What is
Right.
entrainment?
Okay. So entrainment, the way they teach that in school is say you have a room full of like small grandfather clocks, and all the pendulums are doing their own thing, right? You put a big grandfather clock in there. Now that's the dominant one. You come back in a couple of days, all the pendulums have synced with the big one. That's called rhythmic entrainment. Nature wants to reach a homeostasis, right? That's how they teach it in school. Women experience it all the time. You start a new job. There's a bunch of women there. All their cycles have synced. You come in as the new girl. Next thing you know, your cycle has synced with theirs, right? So in that system, the women that already work there, they're the dominant group. They're the big grandfather clock. You coming in as the new girl, you're the small grandfather clock. And then you sync with them. There's literally this rhythmic negotiation going on because nature wants to reach a homeostasis. So that happens even with the shape of the egg. That shape is called a dodecagon. So it's 12 panels all the way around. It almost forms more like a football, actually. But that shape has an actual energetic feel to it. It's a fixed, dominant field. You have an energetic field. So when your energetic field steps into the egg, it wants to harmonize with you because nature wants to reach a homeostasis. So now the egg's the big grandfather clock, you're the small grandfather clock. And there's a negotiation that's happening. That's even without the sound and the light. I
Mhm.
have some people that get in that egg. I haven't turned any lights on, no sound, and they can feel it immediately.
Yeah,
Some people
I'm
start crying immediately. They can feel that their energy is starting to be altered immediately when I put them in there. Now, as
so.
far as the sound, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, as far as the sound, that's another level of entrainment. So, when you're dealing with your chakra, say for instance, each chakra has a different note that it corresponds to. So, your root chakra corresponds to the note C. So, you probably learned in the class if you have a tuning fork that's tuned to the note C, you're gonna put that near the root chakra, right? The thing is, the root chakra can't hear the tuning fork.
Mm.
What the root chakra is responding to is the frequency at which the air molecules are bombarding the chakra.
Mm.
Because mechanically, all sound is just air molecules moving. The air molecules move, they move your eardrum. Eardrum sends a signal to the brain, says he said hello. But mechanically, that's all it is. But what the chakra is responding to is the frequency at which those air molecules. There's information in the frequency.
Mm.
Same thing with light. If I want to work on that root chakra, I'm going to shine a red light on it. It can't see, but it's responding to the frequency at which the photons are bombarding that chakra. If I'm doing crystal Reiki, I may put a red jasper on that chakra. It's responding to the frequency at which that crystal is vibrating. So it's all frequency, different mediums, whether it's photons or air molecules, but it's all frequency. So the chakras are responding to the frequencies.
I very often, before I say the word chakra, I say energy centers. These
Yes.
energy centers in the body.
Hmm.
Because sometimes people get a little freaked out. Oh, is that new age stuff? And they go into hell because Jesus is going to come get them if they do new age stuff. So I will say energy center
Hmm.
slash chakra.
Yes.
So the energy in the chakra
Hmm.
or in the energy center
Yes.
responds to the energy of the light, of the sound, and the music is just, I just want to lick the walls. I have bought, and you can buy the music. I mean,
Yes.
I have it, I play it. Um, that you have the one that I love is the one to reduce inflammation because
Yes.
so much dis-ease in the body is a function of um, inflammation. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that's I ended up putting a lot of people on that track. A lot of people have issues with their liver, and so just getting back to the sound and how it pertains to that track actually. So unlike like tuning fork work, you're not listening to just the tone C. So you're listening to a commissioned composition that
Mm.
may be in the key of C for the root chakra or the key of F or F sharp. And that allows us to actually incorporate all of these different instruments. So the body actually reacts to different instruments. So that track actually has a lot of flute in it. The
Yeah, I have it
liver,
right here. Listen,
yes, yes,
I have it right here. And you too can download the harmonic egg music. Yeah, a lot of flute. And the flute, you say it influences certain organs.
the liver. The liver actually responds to the waveform characteristic of the flute.
Yeah.
Um, there's water in that track. Everything's intentional in these tracks.
Yeah.
So if I have someone that comes in and I see they have issues with the liver, I see they have issues with their adrenals or issues with their kidneys, and if they have any other inflammation like issues with their back, issues in the lung, I will put them on that track because it has the liver, has the flute, which is for the liver. It has a water element. There's a brook that's playing in it. That's actually for your adrenals and
Wow.
for your kidneys.
Wow.
That's all intentional. And then underlying everything is a didgeridoo, which is a ancient Australian Aboriginal instrument. That actually is what's reducing the inflammation, because inflammation is really like stuck energy that's not moving. That didgeridoo is inducing kinetic energy into the body for the whole 40 minutes that you're listening to that track. That's getting that stuck energy to move.
Yeah. Now, my latest assignment is ADHD. And I was guided and sent to do the tuning forks to teach mothers with children who have ADHD how they can use a fork because you don't have to be certified to support the children. I've talked to you about the egg. Let's talk about the egg and ADHD because
So
it's so rampant.
yeah, yeah, OCD, ADHD. I've had a few young clients come in, single mothers. You know, I had one kid. He would wash his hands for 20 minutes. He had OCD, and his little brother didn't, so she couldn't get him out of the house in the morning. Single mom, and he did 6 sessions. I noticed the first session his stress level was through the roof, and I think he was maybe 10 at that time. I couldn't believe how stressed out he was. As he came, his stress level went down, 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 and it directly correlated to his behavior. So as his stress level went down, he stopped washing his hands for 20 minutes. Now he doesn't do it at all. After 6 sessions, he stopped, and now he's on a monthly membership where he just comes once a month just to reset his autonomic nervous system. And he's fine. His whole demeanor's changed. He's like a little man now.
Yeah,
He's 12, I think. Yeah.
yeah. And you started him when he was 6.
No, no, he
Oh,
was.
you were
I think he was 10 going on 11.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's 11 going on 12 now. This last
Yeah.
year.
How tell us, Charles? I know the stories. I'm just asking you like I'm interviewing you, like I don't see you every week. But anyway, how did you get into this? How did such a nice looking man as yourself get into putting people in a football and playing music on their head?
It's interesting. I found out about the egg back in 2017. I was listening to a YouTube podcast, Regina Meredith, and Gail was on the podcast. But at that time, I was already dabbling in sound and color therapy. Um, I've been a DJ forever, so I know the power of music and how it actually can change people. Um, I, some of my DJ friends just tell me, "You man, you just DJing." So this is just another form of DJing, and in a way, it is because you have to connect to people. You know, the buy well is great, the intake form is great, but I actually connect with people. So I'm very intuitive myself. So reading the Bible sometimes can be like reading tea leaves. And some people don't even get the Bible. So you know that. You come in and I'm already dialed into you, so you don't even do the Bible. So it's kind of knowing what people need and having a feel for that. Sometimes I'll put someone in an egg and they'll say something to me while they're sitting in the chair and I'll change the colors. I'll just intuitively know, no, this is it. This is not, they need something else.
Yeah.
And I've learned to listen to that voice. But the interview got me into the egg, just made me aware of it. I knew what sound could do. I knew what light could do. What I did not know was that the sacred geometry part of it, and that's what really intrigued me and made me go all the way down to South Carolina and actually get in one. And once I did that, I was done.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get one. Didn't even know where I was going to get the money from.
Right.
All I knew is this: I have to do this.
Well, I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to Gail Lynn who created it. I want to talk to her one day because I want to know how you wake up one day and just say, let me create a thing and put people in it again, and shoot sound and color all over them. Let's talk about men in the egg because
Mm.
I have sent you every man I know.
Hmm. Hmm.
How do men respond to this?
Men. I have a lot of men who bring their wives there, and it's just like, hey, this is some woo woo stuff I'm bringing my wife to. So while she's in the egg, he's talking to me. I have engineers that come in. I have an engineering background, so I kind of know how to talk to these guys. So their main thing is like, what's a chakra? What is that? So I keep a little book in my office called Geomancy, and it's a book about the energetic grids of the earth. So I start explaining to them how the earth has an electromagnetic field. It has these lines of flux that go all around it, and where they cross is where you have these vortexes. Well, you have the same things. Where they cross is where you have your major chakras. And when I explain it that way, they get it. And I had one guy, he was an electrical engineer, and I'm talking to him. He just came for his wife. They came all the way from Rehoboth Beach, like 2 hours and 40-minute drive one way. And his wife comes out, he pays, and he's going in. She can't believe he's going in there. Simply because I was able to explain it in a way that was scientific, so it wasn't so woo woo for him.
Yeah,
So that gets them in there. And once they're in there, they experience what everybody experiences, and they just come back.
yeah.
All the woo woo stuff is out the window at that point.
Sacred geometry. I've been into sacred geometry for so many years until I met a woman, and then I met a woman in Australia who does light codes, and I've shared some with you.
Yes.
What is the underlying principle of sacred geometry so that people can understand? Yes, the earth, its surface has ley lines, but how does sacred geometry, because that goes on in the egg too. I've seen some stuff in the egg. I just had to close my one eye.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think that the underlying thing with sacred geometry too is you have to get to the point where you understand that everything is vibrating, everything is in motion. So even though that looks like a piece of wood sitting there, that's a very big piece of wood that's been put together like an egg, it's vibrating. It's vibrating, and it actually has a energetic field. So when you create certain shapes, it almost pulls in this energetic field. And I have people who can feel it from the parking lot.
yeah.
There's a yoga studio 2 doors down. I have women, they wave hi to my egg. My egg's right in the front, so you can see it from the parking lot. They said they wave hi to her in the morning. They can feel the energy from the parking lot. It actually creates a feel. And I felt that when I first encountered one down in South Carolina. I had to touch it. You could feel the energy from it. And
This is
pyramids create fields. It's different shapes actually create energetic fields.
this is a great question. You and I have talked about it, but I'm gonna ask this question as if I never heard it. How about people who are claustrophobic? How do
Oh,
they manage in the egg? Yeah.
well, the shape actually, so you can get the benefit of the egg. The particular model that I have, the door slides. So I just close the door until you tell me you're at your comfort level, and then you still have the same benefit. Now I have some people who do what we have is remote sessions. So they don't physically get in the egg. So I actually put their picture in the egg, and I write their birth name on the back, their birth date, and their intention. And I put that picture in the egg just as if they were in there. And with me, I do a little extra thing where I can actually pipe the sound from the egg in real time to your phone. So I'll give you a link to a little player, and you can listen to the music as it starts and as it stops. And they are very powerful. I have one woman who's claustrophobic. She's been coming for over a year. She did her first remote session a week ago.
Yeah.
She said that was more powerful than being physically in the egg because she didn't have the whole claustrophobic thing to even think about. She's in the comfort of her own home. and it was very powerful. She's done two already. She actually bought a bundle. I actually had to create remote session bundles for her. I have clients in India, UK. They've never physically been in the egg ever. The
You've
client
done
in
my
India has
grandson.
chemo.
You've
She's
done
going
my
through chemo.
grandson. You've done
Yes.
my grandson and my godfather remotely.
Hmm.
What were you saying about chemo? I cut you off.
Well, no, my client in India is going through chemo. So we do a session to boost her immunity before she gets chemo. And then afterwards, we do a session for heavy metal detox. And she feels it. She feels it. And
I,
she's 10.5 hours away.
that's beautiful. Yeah, like I said, I my everybody knows OJ. OJ's been in the egg. My godfather, who's in Panama,
Hmm.
we've done remote sessions on him. I've got to start him up again for him. So if you have a question for Charles, you can put it in the egg. And then Charles has created a bundle for us. And we are so excited about that. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Let me go over here and see if I have any questions. Is there an egg in California? Do we know if there's an egg in California?
I think there are a few eggs in California, actually. If you go to harmonicegg.com, there's a locator there. So you
Okay.
can put in your zip code or your state, and it'll show you all the eggs in your area.
I know there was one in Alpharetta, but somebody said that that one is closing. Uh, so you go to harmonicegg.com. Go to
Yeah.
harmonicegg.com and it will show you where there are eggs. If somebody's asking Florida, New York, I don't. You got to go look it up. I know
I
there's
know
one I can get to. Take me an hour
there's
and a half, and I'm happy to get there.
yes, that's the link right there. I think Ayanfe just put in. Gail's in the chat room.
Is she? Oh, there she
Yes.
is. Gail, do you have your teeth in? You want to come on? Gail Lynn is the creator of the harmonic egg, and she is also, I guess, what's the word? Had all of this beautiful music created. The music is just. Here's the question: I'm scheduled for a hysterectomy due to fibroids. Can the egg help me not have the surgery? Well, we can't give you that kind of advice. But how can we address that without giving her medical advice?
I'm sorry, I'm reading Gail's comment. So what I've found, and this is actually something that's it's taken me into an area where I never thought I would be, honestly, as a man. But I'm actually helping a few women deal with womb issues,
Yes,
which is sacral chakra issues.
that's right.
And so it's a lot of water, a lot of wood element, some even past life stuff. That's another thing I deal with a lot. A lot of epigenetic past life issues that people are dealing with. None of it makes sense physically, but they still feel what they feel, and they feel it in the places that they feel it. Physically, the doctor can't see anything. Even the biowell doesn't see much. So in these cases, I really have to listen to them, and some of them have had Akashic record readings and things like that. So they know what's going on in past lives and why they feel certain things in certain parts of the body. But a lot of the womb healing is epigenetic. It's going down the family line. Their mother had it, their grandmother had it. And usually the women don't have kids.
Yeah.
It's like the buck stops there. They're the one that's going to heal the generational healing. And hey, Gail.
Hi,
I'm gonna log off in a minute. I don't have any makeup on, and I'm just gonna say hi to everybody.
Hi. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're here. Everybody, this is Gail Lynn, who created the harmonic egg. Only a woman would create something that heals that looks like an egg. Yes, yes, yes. Anything you want the folks to know, Gail, about this journey, about the egg, about healing, about all of it right now?
Well, this is about Charles, and I just want to say that we're so thankful for Charles. He's going to be featured in our documentary called It's Time, that's going to be coming out in the fall. It's about frequency and medicine. Music is medicine, food is medicine, and more love, more connectedness. We need more love in the world. We need more people to know that we're all one, we're all connected, and we're more powerful than we could ever imagine. And so I just want people to know that we just need to be more in love with each other and be more cognizant of how connected we are.
That's why we're here on Transformational Tuesdays, getting that connection going. And I thank you. And let me just say, y'all, it's so funny. My friend Sandy Sedgbeer lives in London, and Sandy and I were talking about um, Awakening 1 Million, and she just started talking about Gail. And I said, "Well, who's Gail?" She said, "You don't know Gail." Well, no, I don't know her. Where is she? And she told me about you and the egg. So then I wrote you, and then I was coming to you, and you said, no, go to Charles. So, my point, beloveds, is that if you are in the right frequency, you get exactly what you need. I never laid eyes on Gail. We just emailed. Yeah. So now I'm glad to see
Mm-hmm.
you. I'm glad
It's
to see
me.
you. Yeah. I'm glad to. Thank you
Have a good
so
rest of your show, guys.
much. All righty.
Okay.
So, beloved, with the hysterectomy, um, I would say maybe some remote sessions will help you with the healing. If you if you've made that choice, that decision to have the hysterectomy, I would also encourage you to talk to Queen Afua. She has a beautiful book called The Angry Wound, and a lot of what she talks about in there are epigenetics and how some of this stuff has come down the line. But she's done a lot of work on wounds, and she was scheduled to have a hysterectomy. No, she had asthma. Queen Afua had asthma. But look and see if you can find the angry wound before you do this. And ask your body. Your body knows. That's the beauty of it. Ask your body, is this something I need to be doing right now? Is there any alternative? You know how to muscle test, baby. I taught you how to muscle test. Muscle test and see, is having the hysterectomy the best thing for me to do at this time? And then if you get a yes, then maybe some sessions for healing. Would that be helpful, Charles, you think?
Yeah, and one thing to note, and I tell everybody this: the egg is not healing you. Your body is healing itself. It's one thing when you come in and I scan you, I see the instructions that your body's operating off of at that point. Once you get in the egg, you're operating under a totally different set of instructions. And so all the egg did was give you some new instructions. The body takes that and runs with it. And you see that as I scan people as they come over time, I see the body adjusting. So the egg is literally having a conversation with your subtle body energy, your energetic field. But when you adjust that field, things show up physically, emotionally, psychologically. All of that information is stored in that field. So you're healing yourself just like a doctor. The doctor can't stitch the bones together. He can put them close together, wrap it up, and then you go get some rest. The body knows how to stitch those bones back together.
Yeah.
Our body is intelligent.
Somebody is asking, this is probably you might know, what was the motivation behind creating the egg? Or I would say birthing the egg, because the egg was already created in the universe. We just needed it to become down physically. Do you
Hmm.
know Gail's motivation for doing that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gail could really go deeper into this. I've heard the whole story, but I would love to hear her tell it. But it was a download.
Okay.
It was a download. And Gail had the CAD skills because she was in the Detroit and car industry to actually create the schematics for this. She just had to find somebody to build it.
I want one so bad. I'm really working on it. But then I won't come see you no more. But there is a private unit, not the egg. What's the smaller unit called?
The lift.
The lift, right.
That's the smaller unit. Yeah.
You can
Hmm.
still get the sound, the light, and the color, but it's not the size of the egg. But for me, it's the egg, the
Hmm.
size of it. Someone is saying here, is the egg helpful for children with on the autistic spectrum?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of kids who are on the autistic spectrum, so we have certain songs we use for them, certain colors that we actually use for them. Because there's so many different. That spectrum is so broad. It is so broad. But I always encourage the parents that it's not fixing them. It's not about fixing them. It's they may have certain behaviors that they want to curb and things like that. But honestly, with autism, I'm not sure if there's really something that we're supposed to be fixing.
Yes.
You
But
know,
we can definitely calm down, particularly the self harming or
yes,
the outbursts.
yes. A
Those
lot of the
kind.
social stuff. I had a kid came in. Um, he wasn't even in his body. I actually did a presentation with Gail and the other owners when I scanned him. His energy really wasn't in the body, and I'd never seen anything like that before. His mother knew what it was because she had went to a shaman when she was young, and they told her that she wasn't fully in her body.
Mm,
So when she saw what that looked like visualized on her son, she was almost in tears. But he did one session. When he came back, he looked like he was back in his body from the biowell scan. And that's kind of hard to explain without me showing pictures of it, but you can kind of tell when somebody's not fully
present.
in their body. Yes, yes. After 6 sessions, he's fine. He's 14 years old.
Wow.
Yes,
Here's
yes.
another question. Someone is having an embryo transfer Monday, June 10th. What can I do? I don't know what do you mean what can you do? Is there anything you can do to make it what? What's Devonda, give me a little more specifics, baby, because I'm not clear. What can you do? Have the embryo transfer. Hopefully have a baby after that. You can do all of that. Is there I don't know, unless there's something you can do to help her?
Is she getting the transfer into her?
I guess so. I'll watch it as it comes up. So here's the other question. So I can come to you for a scan, then do the harmonic egg remotely due to claustrophobia?
Yes, there's actually a tool that I'm testing right now where you can actually do a similar thing to the BioWell right on your phone. So you basically
I
say
have
eight. Okay, so
I
you
have
got it. Right. So that's what
I can
I'm
scan her.
testing. Say it again.
I said I'll scan her. You want me to scan her?
Right.
Reverend Latanya also has it. We can scan her and send you the stuff.
Yeah, it
Okay,
gives more
Devonda said,
information.
yeah.
It gives more information
Devonda said, yes, she's
and
having the embryo transfer. So she's
into
going to
her.
have the embryo transferred into her. So
Mhm.
what do we do? What
Well,
is it?
I have a lot of women that are coming and they're trying to actually get pregnant. So what I've been helping them do is just make the body a more inviting, make the womb a more inviting space for the soul to enter, and that's the intentions that we work on. They have other things that are going on with them. Some of it epigenetic, but it's all about when they get an egg, we set an intention. That's something we didn't touch on. So before I close that egg, everyone sets an intention
Yeah.
of because I can use the same colors, same music, but two different intentions and get two different results. So your intention is really driving the session, even for the remote session. That's why we have you write the intention on the back of your picture. But that's the intention we work with, and actually a couple of them have actually gotten pregnant.
Really?
But yeah, because these particular women, they understand, or they're of the belief that the baby is choosing them.
Oh, Lord. I don't know why she's calling me. Okay, I'm sorry. That never happened.
Yeah, and I think I saw someone say something about an age restriction in there. So if it's a child, if you're talking on the younger end, if the child's small enough and the parent's small enough, both of them can actually get in the egg together. But just understand when that happens, the session is about the child. It's not about the parent because
Can
there's certain
pregnant
songs
women
that
can pregnant women get an egg?
yes, yes, yep. But when they get in, the selections that we use are for children.
Okay.
So she can't get in the egg and try to work on something that's for an adult. It's all about the child at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My sister and my opera both have children from using sound and light too. Can the egg assist someone who's been experiencing chest pains but medically the doctors haven't been able to identify the cause. Well, again, we are not diagnosing physical stuff. I'm gonna let you respond to that. I have a response, but I don't have an egg, so you respond to that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had clients that have had chest pains. There's nothing that I have that can diagnose anything. But what I did see is I saw the body sending healing energy to that area. So then I adjust the sound and light in the egg to respond to that. And actually, one particular client, it was lymph nodes
Mm,
that were in the chest. So he was actually fighting an infection. He thought he had cancer, but he didn't have cancer. So
mm,
once he got the biopsy back, he realized it wasn't cancer; it was lymph nodes. But we were on the right track in terms of what the egg was helping him with, because I could see where the body was sending the healing energy. So we worked on infections and worked on inflammation for him.
information.
But
I'm
we
getting
can
on
we
track.
can't diagnose anything. Like I said, all the bio world is doing is seeing where the body is sending healing energy, but that helps me decipher what sound and light that I actually use in the egg for you, and what intention you set.
Right. Now, what about mental health issues? I've seen a couple of questions about that. How helpful can the egg be with mental health issues? And then I don't know what we're talking about. Schizophrenia, that's what's the other thing? Bipolarism.
Yeah, it's so many factors in there. But what I can tell you from my experience, I get a lot of depression, folks who have issues with depression, and it takes a lot of questioning. But what I'm finding is that many of them have like mold exposure, things like that, that actually have and heavy metal exposure. So, and that's just me questioning them. Some intuition kicking in there. But then we have things for the egg that are good for mold, good for getting rid of heavy metals. Um, and there are different tonics and things like that that people could take. Even foods like cilantro you could eat to help with heavy metals. But people aren't really making the connection between heavy metals and depression, at least not right now. But I've noticed that trend in a lot of folks.
Trend and a lot of the ADHD stuff. And again, I don't have an egg, and I'm not a medical doctor, but I don't have a PhD, but I got a GOD. And a lot of that ADHD is mold and asbestos. A lot
Yes.
of these kids living in, substandard housing, no heat, no judgment, no fault of their own, but they've been exposed to asbestos and mold at a very young age in uh, mental development and that stuff. It's the ADHD, it's the ADD, it's the ODD. And it has an effect. So you can do that with diet. You can do that with the somebody's saying I've definitely been exposed to black mold in my apartment. Well, be mindful. Just be mindful.
I
So,
have a client, she's actually a physician. So I have physicians that come to the egg, psychotherapists, physicians, pediatricians. But she's suffering from some autoimmune issues. And the more we talk, we realize that this may be mold related, because the house that she lived in with her parents, the basement used to flood all the time. And I think her dad was a doctor, so he had books and stuff, and they all got wet,
mm,
and it's mold in the house, and she just never even thought about it.
right.
Never even thought about it.
Well, they don't, I mean, in so many ways, traditional allopathic medicine is behind, and is really catching up. And one of the reasons that I support the egg, and one of the reasons that I support people taking loving care of themselves is because the body will tell you. The body will tell you. If you ask it, it will tell you. Okay, what is this? Because I'm a Virgo, so I'm a hypochondriac. Oh, I got a pimple. Oh Lord, I got skin cancer. Oh, I got a headache. Oh, I got a brain tumor. So any little twitch in my body, I have to say, okay, what is that? Is that something I need to be look after? You know, that's something I need to do. And you know, I happen to be fortunate. Health is not a challenge that I face. So I'm really really grateful. I want you all to know that for the IVTV family, for those of us who want to experience the egg either in person or remotely, Charles has created a bundle for us because you can't go once and think you know you're going to have cleaner breath and cleaner teeth and fresher breath. But you experience it so because it's subtle, it's working on that energy field. In the crawl, you will see the link to use to get the bundle. I thank you, Charles, for this that he's created for us. It's chromosymatics.com /Iyanla. If you go there, use that link and you'll get to the bundle page. It's a great gift to give folk. And don't forget, you can do it remotely. You can maybe, do they have to have a consult with you first, Charles, if they're going to do
Yes,
it
remote,
remote?
because I have to get the information from them, and during that time, especially if it's remote, I'll get the intention from them. So I have two bundles
Yeah.
that they're two 3 session bundles, one for in person and one for remote. And the reason why we do the bundles because the first session is to reset your autonomic nervous system. So the colors that we use are limited, and the tracks that we use are limited. Then after that, the second session, now we open up the full color palette in terms of the colors of the chakras, and we mix colors, and we open up the full song playlist, which is about I don't know 140 some songs. But for the ANS reset, it's about 14 songs that we actually focus on to reset the autonomic nervous system. That's to
Wow.
get you out of any kind of fight or flight that you may be in, so that we can then on this next session we can actually zoom in on the specifics, whether it's digestion or mental health issues or the addiction. We deal with all kinds of things.
Weight. Let's talk about weight
Weight,
loss.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So there's a weight loss protocol that we have. It's a 10 session protocol, and it mainly focuses around the liver and clearing out the digestive pathway. So it's a lot of going back and forth from cleaning out the liver and the digestive system. And I've had a couple people go through that whole program, the
Yeah.
whole program. But you have to exercise too. So we require you do at least 20 minutes of something a day. Whether it's just walking or anything to get the body moving. But I mean, you're familiar with the body well, and some of the things I can see all throughout the body. But I've had people that come in with major. One woman, she had major issues all throughout her body. By the 10th session, everything was green, everything, and she was primed. All she had to do was just start working out. Her body was primed
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
10 sessions. Yeah.
ED. Can we talk about ED? Is there a protocol for ED? Not that I
Erect.
have it. I don't have erectile dysfunction, but I get more and more mail from wives whose husbands have it, or the men themselves. Hope you got a problem. I said, well,
Mhm.
ED, and yeah, you know. So is there a protocol for that?
There's no protocol for that, but there's one track in particular that actually focuses on erectile dysfunction, and that's a lot. It's actually a lot of drums. It's the sacral and the root chakra. It's a sacral and root chakra issue. So you deal with a lot of oranges, a lot of reds, a lot of water for the sacral chakra, and a lot of drumming and didgeridoo for the root chakra.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Look at the bottom of the screen, y'all. Take a picture, whatever you know, write it down, put it in your Hogwarts notebook. Everything you need is there. Now, there's another schedulicity scheduling. I don't know what that is. That's from Charles Edwards. I don't know what that is.
I think that's the link that the Yanla goes to.
Okay,
So when
okay.
you go to /Ayanla, it's going to take you there. Yeah.
Mr. Charles, you know I love you, and I'm gonna see
I
you
love you
at
too.
11 or 11. What am I? 11 or 11:15?
11:15.
11:15. Can
Yeah.
the three-session bundle be split between three persons? No. I don't even answer that. No.
Yeah, you if you're gonna do the first one, you need to do the second one because it's one session is not going to solve your problem. I try to knock out as many things as I can with that first session. That's why I tend to spend more time with my clients when it's their first session, because some folks I never know if I'm going to see them again. So I want to make sure that I can do as much for them as I can in terms of the pack, the track that I choose and the colors that I choose for them. Yeah.
So you know what? She said she's got a daughter in Fort Meade. That's right up the road, and a
Hmm.
daughter who's in New York. So y'all pick a Saturday when all three of y'all can come and get back to back appointment, and let him take a look at all of y'all, and then they can decide. Listen, people have come down from New York, right, Charles? Isn't that
Yes,
right?
yes. People came down from Brooklyn. I have people come from Philly all the time. It's nowhere really from Philly because we're in the northern part of Maryland, so we're kind of equidistant from Philly and Baltimore.
Right. Well, my beloved, I'm going to see you at 11:15 in the morning. People know I'm going to they say, you going to the egg? Yep, I'm going to the egg. And they hate it because I'm going to come back with some level of clarity and give them more work to do.
Hey, you are serious. You travel through some traffic to get there.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
an hour and a half from where
yeah,
I'm at to get
yeah.
to you. I wouldn't care. Listen, if I can go to New York to get a knish, okay, if I can drive 5 hours, 4.5 hours to get some potatoes off a grill, I can sure come to the egg and get my life right. I come to the egg. Thank you so much for being
You're
with us.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
So everybody, to get your bundle, look right down in the crawl. I forget what they call that. They call that something. I call it the crawl. It's going across the screen. If not, you go to Chromosomatics in Baltimore. I mean .com, chromosomatics.com, and you can get all the information that you need about the eggs. Now you know about sound, you know about light, you know about frequency, you know about vibration, so you can make some informed decisions. If you live far away, if you go to harmonicegg.com and you don't see an egg in your city, please come back to Charles, because he can do you remotely. I'm telling you, my godfather's in Panama. He has done my godfather. OJ is in school in the day, and he only stayed in the egg about 4.2 minutes. So he's been done remotely. So consider some remote sessions, but just be willing, as Gail said, love yourself enough to give yourself permission to do this. Stop spending your money with my husband. Leave my husband alone, Mr. Amazon. And stack them dollars up and go on and see Charles and get yourself together. Okay. Thank you so much, Charles. And thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody, for tuning in. Chromosomatics.com if you just want to read about it. Harmonicegg.com. You can go and find out where an egg is located in your city. You can also go, what is Gail's website if they just want to get the music?
HarmonicEgg.com. Yeah,
Harmonicegg.com.
she has a store there where you can download the tracks.
And she also had a reference to another service, because I think it's BioWell, because I got some focus and some tinctures and supplements for OJ. So again, loving yourself,
Oh, BioRay.
BioRay, yeah,
Yes, yes. Hmm.
I got some supplements for him. Uh,
Yes.
but love yourself enough to give yourself permission to do this for yourself, to be your best self, to transform from the inside out. That's where it's going to happen. It's going to happen from the inside out. Do you breathe in this week? Uh, I'm not sure who's coming next week, but somebody will be here. I finally got my tapping instructor to come out of retirement, Lindsay Kenny. So Lindsay Kenny's going to be here. Somebody's going to talk to you about tapping besides me. Jessica Ortner is going to come to talk about the tapping solution. We're going to look at the life patches with Tulani Kennard. Reverend Latanya is going to come and talk about the very technology that Charles was referring to, that you can look in your phone and with your words, they will scan your body. This thing is phenomenal. I mean, it's amazing that what it can do and will do. I'm also trying to get Larimar from London, the gentleman that does the incredible shamanic music for me. It's just that he's in London, so 8:30 here is 2 a.m. there, and so he's trying to get himself ready to have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Lee Ditko is coming to talk to you about light codes. So Transformational Tuesday is the place to be, okay? So that you can get some insight, some information on the journey, the process that begins with one step. Tune in tomorrow for David G and Growing Pains, and Thursday for free for the Southern Spirit and get your reading. I hope you enjoyed the waist beat class on Sunday and freeze class on Monday. We just got lots of stuff going on. So keep your subscription up, and I will see you next Tuesday. In the meantime, moment to moment, envision the journey and the process. Love ya. Mean it. Bye.